There are several arm locks that can be applied from the mounted position. The first one we call the bent arm lock. In fact, the bent arm lock can be applied also from the cross mount position. It is exactly the same bent arm lock we do from the mounted position. The only real difference is the angle you approach it. Step number 1. Place your elbow next to your opponent's ear and secure the wrist. Be sure your thumb is over the wrist like this, over his wrist, and not underneath. If you grab underneath, he might be able to pull the hand away. Step number 2. Bring your hand under his arm, over your own wrist, and place your forehead on top of your hand to help keep his hand secure to the ground and prevent the opponent from eye gouging you. Step number 3, lift your elbow off the ground, and while keeping his hand on the ground here, slide his hand down like a paintbrush. From the mounted position, where you will spend most of your time, especially if you take the time to practice these techniques enough, we will see another arm lock. We call this the straight arm lock. It is especially useful if your opponent is trying to push you back or choke you. Step number 1. As the opponent tries to reach out for your neck, you should put both of your hands on his chest, making sure that you feel comfortable enough with the idea of resting the weight here. As you do this, you will be isolating one of his arms. If you want to catch this arm, you go this way. If you want to trap this arm, you would go this way. Step number 2, rest your weight on his chest and jump to the ball of your feet. In step number 3, allow your leg to spin all the way around over your partner's head like this. As you fall back, you will find that your hands are here and his arm is going to be right between your arms like this. So as you lay back, you will have his hand for this finishing grip. Step number 4 is to keep your feet on the ground, your legs slightly adjusted together. Keep his hand next to your chest. If you just simply grab the person's arm anyways, like this, without being attentive to the position of the angle of the arm, as you raise your hip now, because his arm is bent, it will really not cause any pain. So it's very important that you become aware of that and turn his wrist this way so that the elbow is now flat, and when you raise your hip, you will cause a major hyperextension on the joint of the arm. These are some of the most devastating finishing techniques we have, and you can see they are very simple. So be very attentive to your partner's tapping out. Just a few degrees of rotation beyond where most people start feeling pain lies serious injury.